Hello students, today I am going to explain the chapter The Night Train at Deoli. So before I start the explanation, students, you open your literature book, page number 42. Now children, you see the paragraph under the heading Understand. I'll read it out for you. The Night Train at Deoli is a short story from the collection of stories titled The Night Train at Deoli and other short stories. This collection contains simple, heartwarming and thought-provoking stories. So underline the phrases heartwarming and thought-provoking stories. Now what do these phrases mean? Now heartwarming is very emotional, sensitive, very close to heart, tender. Thought-provoking. Thought-provoking, the stories which provoke a thought in your mind, which make you think about. So these stories are very simple. At the same time, they are heartwarming and thought-provoking. Most of these stories are set in Dehradun and Mussoorie, where the author spent his childhood and teenage years. So already, as I have given you in the notes about the author Ruskin Bond. Ruskin Bond has spent his childhood and teenage in Dehradun and Mussoorie, and so when he wrote the stories, the setting of these stories are also at the same place. Now about the theme of the story. The Night Train at Deoli by Ruskin Bond have the theme of innocence, memories, connection, love, letting go. Letting go means what? That whichever memories or whatever experience we have, we let it go. Means we don't ponder over it much, but it remains, we cherish it in our memories forever. But we let go the situation and the time and the condition. Then desire, now it's quite often common in human beings that human beings have desires. So this one of the themes of this chapter is also about desire. Acceptance, accepting, at the same time fear. These all are the feelings or the emotions attached to human beings, and so these are very simple stories having all this. This story contains all these themes. Now students, come to page number 43. I'll read the first paragraph for you and then explain it. When I was at college, I used to spend my summer vacations in Dehra at my grandmother's place. I would leave the plains early in May and return late in July. Deoli was a small station about 30 miles from Dehra. It marked the beginning of the heavy jungles of the Indian Terai. In this paragraph, this is the beginning of the story. So the narrator has used the pronoun I, this first person, so he is narrating. What does he say? That when he was in college, he used to spend his summer vacations in Dehra at his grandmother's place. When he used to go to his grandmother's place, when his summer vacation started, so it started in the month of May, early in May, and when it ended in July, so he used to go in early in May and return late in July. So now where he used to go? Deoli. Deoli, he says, was a small station which was 30 miles from Dehra, and it marked the beginning of heavy jungles from the Indian Terai. So when he used to go to that place, he used to pass the heavy jungles of Indian Terai. The second paragraph. The train would reach Deoli at about 5 in the morning, when the station would be dimly lit with electric bulbs and oil lamps, and the jungle across the railway tracks would just be visible in the faint light of dawn. Deoli had only lone platform, an office for the station master, and a waiting room. The platform boasted of tea stall, a fruit vendor, and a few stray dogs. Not much else, because the train stopped there for only 10 minutes before rushing on into the forests. So the narrator says that the train would reach the place Deoli at about 5 in the morning, early in the morning, that is the dawn. Where dawn is what? Just before the sun rises. So at 5 it is generally dawn in the morning. And when he used to reach the place, that was a dawn because it was not bright. So you would see that only the station would be lit with electric bulbs and oil lamps, and it generally used to be dim light. And the jungle across the railway tracks would just be visible in the faint light of dawn, and you could see the jungles that was just nearby the railway tracks. Now he describes the platform. The narrator says that Devli had only lone platforms. So what all things were there? Lone means no one was there. What else? Only few things were there. An office for the station master and a waiting room. And tea stall, a fruit vendor and a few stray dogs. Now the next paragraph. Why it stopped at Devli, I don't know. Nothing ever happened there. Nobody got off the train and nobody got in. There were never any coolies on the platform. But the train would halt there a few 10 minutes, and then a bell would sound, the guard would blow his whistle, and Devli would be left behind and forgotten. Another paragraph. I used to wonder what happened in Devli, behind the station walls. I always felt sorry for the lonely little platform and for the place that nobody wanted to visit. I decided that one day I would get off the train at Devli and spend the day there, just to please the town. The narrator says that he never understood why the train stopped at Devli. Why did this question arise in the narrator's mind? Because he observed or he noticed that nobody got off the train and nobody got in at that station. And he could never see any coolie on the platform. But the train would halt here, you can say stopped there for 10 minutes, and then there was a sign was given to the train to depart, as usually it happens. A bell would sound, the guard would blow his whistle, and Devli would be left, and the train would move ahead and be forgotten. He says that I used to wonder what happened in Devli. He used to always ponder over the thought that what happened at Devli behind the station walls. Means he wanted to know. He was eager to know about the station. He was eager to know about the place. Why? Because he could see no coolie. He could see no hustle and bustle in the station. What does the phrase hustle and bustle means? There was no rush. Generally, what it happens? Generally, we see people moving in and around the platform. Some people wait for the train to come. Some people are ready to move around, and so on. So there was no hustle and bustle. So this made the narrator think over that what was the place, to know about the place Devli. So he says that he wanted to know about the place behind the walls of the station. He wanted to know what was outside the station, what was happening in Devli. He always felt sorry for the lonely little platforms. He could see no people there, so he felt very sorry for that place, and he wanted to visit the place. So what did he do? He decided that one day he would get off the train at Devli and spend the day there just to please the town, just to know the town, just to look around, move around the town, and to know about the place. So he was curious to know about the place. Now, the next line reads, I was 18, visiting my grandmother, and the night train stopped at Devli. A girl came down the platform selling baskets. It was a cold morning, and the girl had a shawl thrown across her shoulders. Her feet were bare and her clothes were old, but she was a young girl, walking gracefully and with dignity. When she came to my window, she stopped. She saw that I was looking at her intently, but at first she pretended not to notice. She had a pale skin, set off by shiny black hair and dark troubled eyes. And then those eyes, searching and eloquent, met mine. The writer says this when he was 18 and was visiting his grandmother, and during his journey when the train stopped at Devli, he saw a girl came down the platform selling baskets. So it was a cold morning, and the girl had a shawl thrown across her shoulder. She was putting shawl. Her feet were bare. Here bare means she had no shoes. Okay, she was barefoot, and her clothes were old. But she was a young girl walking gracefully and with dignity. She was walking gracefully as she was a young girl. She had a dignity and she was walking gracefully. So here the narrator describes the girl whom he saw at the Deoli platform. The narrator says that as the girl was selling baskets, so she came to the narrator's window, and she saw that the narrator was noticing her. Here you see the word intently with earnest and eager attention. So she noticed that the narrator was intently looking at her, but she pretended not to notice it. She had a pale skin. Now again the narrator describes her appearance, her look. The narrator says that she had a pale skin. Pale means there was no glow, and set off by shiny black hair. She had black hair and dark troubled eyes. So she has dark eyes, as if she was stressed out, she was tensed, or else she was in problem. So this was her appearance. She didn't have although she was a young girl, but she didn't have any glow on her skin, but she had a shiny black hair, and her eyes, she has dark circles, you can say, as we say nowadays in modern world, we say dark circles. Why do these dark circles come up? Because of stress or problem. So this was her appearance. And then those eyes, searching and eloquent, met mine. So eloquent means what? Who is very a good speaker, who can speak well. So she was eloquent. Her eyes, so her eyes were eloquent. You see you can say how her eyes are. The narrator has very well used this adjective eloquent with her eyes. This says that her eyes wanted, as if when intently the narrator was looking at the girl, he noticed that as if her eyes were searching something and were saying something. Generally we say eyes speak. So her eyes were eloquent and met the narrator's eyes. She stood by my window for some time and neither of us said anything. But when she moved on, I found myself leaving my seat and going to the carriage door, and stood waiting on the platform, looking the other way. I walked across to the tea stall. A kettle was boiling over on a small fire, but the owner of the stall was busy serving tea somewhere on the train. The girl followed me behind the stall. The narrator says that when the girl stood by his window for some time, neither of them said anything. But when he moved on, the narrator left his seat and went towards the carriage door and stood there waiting on the platform, looking the other way. He walked across to the tea stall, and he saw that the owner of the tea stall was busy serving tea somewhere on the train. The girl followed him behind the stall. "Do you want to buy a basket?" she asked. "They are very strong." The next line reads as, "Do you want to buy a basket?" she asked. "They are very strong, made of the finest cane." "No," I said, "I don't want a basket." We stood looking at each other for what seemed a very long time, and she said, "Are you sure you don't want a basket?" Now when he was there at the tea stall, the girl followed the narrator from behind the stall, and she asked the narrator whether he wanted to buy a basket, and giving the description of the basket, she said that they were very strong, made of finest cane. The narrator answered that he didn't want a basket, but as the girl wanted to sell the basket, so she looked at him. Both of them looked at each other for a quite long time, and she said, again she asked him for surety whether he wanted to buy a basket. So this was the conversation that took place between the narrator and the girl at the station Deoli, which was a lonely station. So students, today we stop here, and the next class I'll continue with the chapter.